Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar. And I'm off work. I got my days off. And now I am on my way to go and get my car washed. And then I'm going to go by the grocery store to pick up a couple of pieces of fruit and things or whatever. Shoot, I was getting it for free for no reason the other day. So I might go try it again. I'm tempted to go to the same place I went to see if I'm going to get it free again. But anyway, let's get into it. So today was today was interesting. I'm not gonna complain, but I'm gonna vent to y'all. Anyway, so I came in to, of course, since today is my official last day of the work week. They just sat up here and tried me, and then now I'm in an area where I gotta work, and I'm like, oh, here y'all go. Luckily it was my department, so I mean, again, that's the blessing in all of this. So I'm like, whatever, cool. Child, oh my gosh, the dude that I told y'all about that is into anime and all that stuff, and I have allowed a friend request situation to happen on PlayStation Network, and so we're friends on there. Cool. Man, first of all, I already knew it was gonna be some foolishness. So I went to the meeting, and then after the meeting was over with, I let him know, hey, I'm finna go get my stuff because I was running late. And if I'm running, I mean, I wasn't late for work, but because the meeting is an inconvenience in my opinion, it literally don't take you but less than 2 minutes to say what you got to say. Like, you can just hand me the paper and say, hey, this is what's going on, the end. And in all honesty, the paper / schedule, it pretty much can explain it if you know how to read it. So unless something is changed from the printout, ain't nothing else for us to discuss. So they're making it mandatory for us to have to attend these meetings, and I'm like, child, I'm tired. And then people be all in your face, all in your mouth. They just get on my nerves. So anyway, I already don't want to be here. But I have bills, so it is what it is. So again, I'm not gonna complain, but yet again, I'm going to vent to y'all. So as far as the person that I had to work with today, I came in and I had to do the most hated task, but it was okay. I had to train somebody. One of the new people, started today officially on our shift, even though he's already been trained. They placed him with me, and I'm like, whatever. I explained to him how I do trainings, even though I don't like to train nobody. So I was like, it is what it is. Whatever you want to do, I can keep an eye on you, and I'm gonna look out for you, but I'm not gonna hover over you. Now, if that's the type of situation you want, I mean, I guess. But typically, whenever I explain to these folks, I'm really not trying to do all of that. So we can go from there. What? Girl, and then I'd have missed the light because of you. Get your behind on. You did all this to be in the way. Anyway, but yeah, so I had to just explain to him the type of person I am, because I really don't want to train y'all. Like, I'm barely here myself. Like, look, and then I got y'all, so many things happen. I'm trying to keep it all straight and to tell y'all in the order in which it happened. Okay, so like I said, I had to do the most hated task when I came in the door, and my supervisor was like, get with your partner, and he told me to get with the new person and show them how to do it. I said, okay, you know what I'm saying? So once I went and got my stuff and came back, I came up there and I introduced myself to him and told him what the situation was, and then told old boy I was gonna take him up there to go perform the task, and he was like, okay. So I took the guy up there, told him what all he needed to do. The dude that I told y'all about, who has the 2 young kids, I saw him. Now, he mad because he done came to the meeting and they aren't even allowing him to do what I do, which is the job he's supposed to be doing now. But I had already told him, I'm like, you do know when they want to and when they need y'all, they gonna pull you for their job again. This was the first time that they had pulled him for it, so he was upset. Like, he hates it. And I'm like, I would hate it too, so I understand the frustration. So he mad, and he was like, I'm leaving halfway through the shift. I was like, okay, whatever. So I don't know, he probably did leave, but because I hadn't seen him since. But before that happened, I asked him if he would help me while I was doing said task. He actually helped. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. He really already helped. So I was like, cool. So the whole time, y'all hold on for a moment. Oh, so I ain't got no receipt? Oh, okay. Are you gonna wait? What is?
Thank you for your business.
Oh, you just set it off and I ain't get no receipt. Oh, okay. Y'all, my bad. They be trying me sometime. But anyway, this person just got their car washed. And it looks straight off the lot. I'm like, what did you try to get? Yes, my buddy here today, y'all. I'm sorry. I told y'all it's one person here I live for. But anyway, if you can't tell, I'm at the car wash. This man be saying it. Woof. Child. Anyway, so I'm up there. I'm teaching the dude what he needed to do. I told him all he had to do. And it wasn't, this particular time, it wasn't an intense situation. It's something that involves, after I've done what I need to do, an audit happens. So I already knew that they were going to do an audit. Okay, so old boy came up there after I ain't gonna lie, I was taunting him. So I looked down and I saw him, because there are like 3 levels. And so I'm on the top level. So I saw him from where I was at. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I called his name and he felt some type of way about it. And like he was laughing and smiling or whatever. But I was like, cool. And I'm trying to follow the directions of my buddy, y'all. I love him. Oh my gosh, he is everything. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you better clean my car. He treat my car so special today, y'all. He is really setting it off. I am so here for him. Like, I really am. Anyway, so he done decided to come up to the level that I was on and address me because I called him by a nickname that he don't like for other people to know about outside of his family and me, I guess. So I said it, but the person that was near him initially, he didn't even hear it. So he was like, what I told you about saying my name? I was like, sir, I said it and that man did not hear you. And I was like, you're going to get to know him anyway. He is going to be someone who you're training. He was like, I ain't finna get to know him. I'm like, sir, you was doing the least. So anyway, he came up there. I was like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. Help me do this. So he actually, y'all don't understand how lazy this man is. He's so lazy. Like, he takes every opportunity to not do no work, even work he's actually supposed to do. Now, I just knew he was going to say no. Like, no, I just knew he was going to say no and walk off as fast as possible. But he didn't. He actually helped. He actually did it. I was like, oh. But the whole time he was saying little stuff or whatever. And then when he was done, I said, you know what? Thank you. And so he of course, shot a bird at me. And I just laughed at him. And then the other person who came up there, she was laughing at him too. And then he tried to talk to her. I said, you need to leave her alone. Stop bothering people who actually be doing work around here. I was like, who? I said, everybody except you. Everybody except you does work. And so she was dying laughing. Anyway, so after that situation happened, I took old boy to the next area. Well, before that, y'all, tell me why my supervisor tried me. My supervisor is one of the people who at times he helps with the audit. And so, I mean, I guess it's because he is the supervisor over my department, and then on given days when nobody else is there, he's the supervisor of all departments. But that is his home department that he actually supervises. Y'all, this man gonna find random stuff. He was like, oh, let me show y'all something, da-da-da-da-da-da. This man that created a whole nother situation talking about I had to do. And he talking about we be leaving it out, whatever. I said, you know what, I ain't gonna say nothing. So the other person who does that job, who does the audits, I looked at her, I was like, since when we supposed to start doing this? Because I ain't never, not once ever in the 2 years that I've been working here, did this. She started working after me. She worked her way up. She worked her way up literally from the bottom. And now she does the audits, which I am so happy for her. Like, that's the thing. I'm the type of person that if you upgrading and all of that, and you wanted to do something else, and you set out to do something and you did it, I'm here for you. I'm here for it. So, you know what I'm saying? I want everybody to want to do better. For me, people just fail to realize, and they ain't gonna know unless I tell them, that I'm just not here for anything. I'm just not. I'm not here for anything. This is a stepping stone job for me, and at some point I will be saying my goodbyes. I'm hopeful that within the next 2 years, definitely, by the time I turn 40, I'm gonna be hopeful that I will be, you know what, I need to just speak it into existence. I need to just speak it so that it can be so. I know that I have been very nervous about stepping back into the social work realm, but I love social work. I loved what I did. And my clients, most of my clients lived for me. Even when I was, on them, because that was a part of my job, they lived for me. And I mean, I just wanted to make sure that the well-being of my, I gotta stop. I gotta calm down. I gotta calm down, because we call them, if you are really, really into it, you'll say your babies and all that stuff. Because y'all know I don't have kids. And a lot of us who really believe in social work and, actually do the work and are really about the field work, we'll, if children are involved in our caseload, we'll say our babies, our kids, and all that stuff. So yeah, some of us do. A lot of us do. But yeah, my kids lived for me. Like, it hurt a lot of them to know that I wasn't going to be seeing them anymore. They were calling up there to the job looking for me. It was a lot. But I kept having setbacks, like not having a car for 5 years. And I was still applying religiously, because depending on the type of social work job that you have, you don't have to have a car. But I loved what I was doing. I was a child protective services social worker. And so I had to be out in the field a lot. I was always at doctor's appointments, schools, churches, all sorts of events, court. I always was on the go, and very rarely was in the office. And it was so unpredictable. And in all honesty, that is the only thing in life that has ever happened to me that I welcome. That's the only thing that I welcome that is unpredictable, is that particular line of work. From day to day, everything was unpredictable. It had gotten to a point early on, I had to realize, I can't sit up here and say, I'm gonna create, I'm gonna set out goals for what I'm gonna do for today. I'm gonna write a list of what I'm gonna do today. No. Almost nothing would ever go that way. So it just got to a point where I was like, whatever I end up doing that's actually happening in that moment, that's what's gonna happen. Y'all, anyway, I went off on a tangent, my bad. But I'm just saying, these people don't understand. I know my destiny. I know what my destiny is. I know where I'm supposed to be in my life. I know where I'm supposed to be going, and put it like that. I'm not supposed to stay there. That's a stepping stone job. I appreciate it for what it is. But anyway, so I'm finished doing my job. I take the guy back to our area, and I just, I didn't even tell him anything at first. And he actually caught on, and he just started doing things on his own. And I told him, I was like, you are the first person that they put me with. Well, that they put with me, is what I was trying to say, getting tongue-tied, that actually just started doing things that they should do without me even having to tell them. And you know what I'm saying, he actually did pretty good. If I had to give him if I had to grade him, I would say he got like a 90, which is still considered an A in some places and a high B in others. So he did exceptionally well, considering. This was like his first day, on our shift doing all this stuff. He did pretty good. The other guy, on the other hand, that I already knew, because he was somebody who, he came in right before their class, if you will. How you still doing the same stuff, if not getting worse? y'all, stuff got to be turned on that he done turned off, and he forgetting to turn it on. Y'all, I'm talking about as soon as I got from up there, from doing what I was doing, and turned my radio on, them people was calling every few minutes, and it was something in relation to something that he was supposed to be doing. And I'm like, I got so sick. I was so ready to go. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even supposed to be over here. Like, I was supposed to have an easy day all this week up until today. They had it where I was going to be the breaker and all the people was going to be there, which means I was going to still be a breaker, but it wouldn't have been as big of a deal if I wasn't able to go to all departments and all that stuff, because it's 3 people per department right now that's training. And then, like, depending on if it when I come back in there Friday, it's going to be 4 people in my department and 3 people in the side heifers department, and 3 people in the most hated department. So it's gonna be an abundance of people, and that's not including the breaker, because the new people are training. Okay, so anyway, I'm not even supposed to be over here. There are people calling like crazy. I'm like, this don't make no sense. Why I gotta keep going over here? Then he getting frustrated, and I'm saying to myself, how dare you have the audacity to get frustrated when it's you? All you had to do was turn all your stuff back on. Like, I don't be understanding. And I mean, and then, y'all, my supervisor kept coming up there. I'm like, oh my gosh, don't nobody have time for this. Is this his heifer? Yep, the woman I used to work with. I was like, that's one of her cars. I think that's her get around, go back and forth to work car. But she got like other luxury vehicles. But I wonder where she coming from. What time is it? No, she ain't at work. This must be an off day for her or something. I don't know, because she would have had to be at work by now. Anyway, but yeah, they kept on calling me. I'm like, man, because I'm the only one. I literally was the only one between my department and the side heifers department that had a radio. So even though there is a radio, a free for all type radio that's in our department, unless you're standing near it, you're not going to hear what's being said. And so he did hear some of the times when they said certain things, and he could tell it was pertaining to his part of the area that he was running. And so he was like, what are they talking about? And I told him, and he was just so frustrated. And I'm like, how you gonna be frustrated when it's you though? It's you. But anyway, y'all, I was so ready to walk up out of there. I was like, this don't make no sense. Like, then the supervisor, he already tried to play me in front of the new person. Like, I'm over here just skipping over steps. Like, sir, I have literally never done that. Nobody has ever said that to me. I've never seen anybody do that before in any other departments doing that particular task. Nobody. And like I said, the other person that that is a part of her job description is to do audits. She do all this stuff all the time. Like, she has to be very, very particular. She said, I ain't never had to do that before when I did my old job. And I ain't never did that and specifically had to look and was told to look in that area for nothing. Like, it was a lot, y'all. I was like, I just had to tell myself, just don't even do it. Because it's like, why are you sitting up here trying to play that role? Like, why are you trying to sit up here and play that role like I done left something out and I didn't? You over here adding stuff. Like, if y'all knew the situation, y'all be like, yeah, it don't even make no sense, you doing the most. But anyway, so I just had to calm myself down, because I don't like when people try to play me. I don't like me try to play in my face. And then somebody else who don't even know me, you got me looking like I don't know what I'm doing when I do. Like, don't do this. So anyway, after I got over that, I'm talking about as soon as I came from doing that, immediately I turned my radio on, they calling like crazy. I'm like, oh my God, sir. And I just got to the point, I just was sick and tired, so I started walking down there doing stuff, and he trying to figure out why I'm walking down there. Because you ain't do what you supposed to do, sir. I'm tired. In my spirit. So anyway, so yeah, I was just like, this don't make no sense. Like, why? And I mean, it is the most simple thing in life. I don't be understanding. I was like, it happens to the best of us, but all day, every day, this ain't no all day, everyday mistake. Like, this is ridiculous. And in my department, you can't do that. And in the specific areas that he was doing it in, it's fast paced. Ain't nobody got time. You barely have time. You barely can do certain things in a timely fashion as it is. He already be slow doing that. Child, other stuff was happening that shouldn't have been happening. That it was to the degree where he'll be standing there and the world ending, and he just like, oh, I'm looking everywhere but right there. I'm like, well, sir, child, I was so tired. So anyway, why did that happen like that? That must have been something else. But yeah, he was frustrating me, and so after everything calmed down, he rolled up on me and was like, yeah, asked me, was I gonna get certain games, and he was telling me that there were like 6 games coming out within the next couple of months, and he was looking forward to them. And then he said something about how he ended up going and purchasing an Xbox, and I was like, yeah, what we're not gonna do is this conversation is over now. I don't even understand why you're talking to me. But go off though. I'm going back in. No, I should have, but I didn't. I didn't have to, but I could have. Anyway, y'all, I'm doing the motion. I'm at this grocery store. But let me finish telling y'all this stuff before I'm done. So, but yeah, he starts telling me, oh, well, I'm gonna go get these games, and I got an Xbox too. And I'm like, now, sir, you already know I'm not here for nobody's Xbox. We're not finna do that. So he was like, well, I ain't got no choice, because there are certain games that I started playing like in the 90s that are not going to be on PlayStation anymore. They stopped doing that. And, you know, depending on what is going on, they have the option to do that and make it exclusive to just their system. So, I mean, and I get that, and I know that that's a thing, but I was just still like, nobody got time. So, anyway, I was like, you already know me. I'm going to get my usual Call of Duty when the next one come out. I ain't been playing the one that I got because I've been so tired from work. I might try to play it this week. Over the next couple of days while I'm off. I'm going to see how I feel about it. Because the last time I played, I did so good. I played a couple of rounds and got off. I felt good about it and went to sleep. It's tired. So anyway, so then he going to come up to me after that, and he was like, oh, I got to show you something. So I never know where he going to go because he is so random. Like, I'm random, but he might have me beat in the random department. So he was like, oh, let me show you something. I'm trying to figure out what I'm thinking. He gonna show me an anime. He asked me about some anime, and I was like, nah, I don't know nothing about none of the ones you're talking about. He said, oh, it's so good. And I'm like, yeah. Not really trying to hear what you're talking about after you dissed some of the greatest ones that ever existed. Like, nah. So, he goes to show me what he looked like when he was in shape, I guess you could say. I told y'all before, he's ex-military and all of that, right? So he was like, yeah, you know, when I was with my ex-wife, she was a dime. So, you know, he basically making it seem like he had to keep himself up and all this other stuff. And I was like, okay. Like, but he said he never wants to get in a situation like that again where he feels like he has to do this to compete with other guys, because she would sit up there and like post stuff, and it would be to the point where it would get like 1,000 likes in like a couple of minutes or something, and all of that. And he was like, I'm trying to get back how I used to be, so I used to keep myself up. And I'm like, you should feel like that. Like, you should be able to be yourself. But for me personally, I just want a man that takes care of himself. Meaning, I ain't got to worry about you about to stroke out. Like, I'm just saying, everybody that live for me, I got to worry about if they're going to stroke out on me, if their blood sugar is so high that they're going to go blind and lose limbs. And I just be like, no. And all of them ain't huge. Like, I just don't like humongous men. Yes, I'm fat. I just do not like humongous men. Because the humongous men that live for me usually are like slobbingly. Like, it's not. Nothing about it is attractive. And it's some women, they just be like, oh, I love a teddy bear. I'm like, that's not a teddy bear, ma'am. That's just not it. But go off, though. And I know y'all probably reading me because I'm fat. but it ain't appealing to me. It's not. It's not. Now, I don't know if y'all ever saw Canton Jones before. And I know any of y'all who know who I'm talking about, without Googling, like off rip, y'all gonna be like, ooh, you going to hell. But I'm not, though. That's not my plan. I don't intend to go there. Canton Jones was like one of the first celebrities, if you will, that I looked at and I was like, you know what? If I were to deal with somebody who had some like thickness, it'd be somebody look like that. You know what I'm saying? Something along those lines. Maybe a little bit bigger at the most, but yeah, I likes that. I likes that. He looks nice. I don't know what he look like right now, but when I first saw him, he was like on the Preacher of LA or somewhere, one of them shows, and I was like, why am I attracted to this? Because normally I like twigs and, you know, muscles. Like if you big, it was because you were a muscle bound. I was about to say gorilla, but I don't like using that terminology. But some dudes live for that. I'm just saying, like, just be the athleticism and all of that. It's just I don't know. But anyway, that's usually what I go for. And usually they live for me too. Like every type of dude live for me. But what I live for, they just be But yeah, it's some thick dudes that they, you know, they got a little belly and things. I be here for them, you know what I'm saying? My tastes have slightly changed, but it's still pretty much the same. Not that it matters, because y'all know I'm single and not looking for nothing. So, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, I'm just like, no. And like right now, and look, listen, y'all, I out of nowhere, I asked this man, I said, how old are you? I didn't know if he was going to be shady and not tell me, but he ended up telling me he's like close to 50, y'all. I said, you know what? I wouldn't have never guessed that. He was like, I get that a lot. And so then he shows me the pictures of what he looked like when he was in shape and all this other stuff. He looked the same, except now he has locks. Like, his locks ain't long or nothing. Like, his locks maybe 3 inches, maybe. I don't think any of them are past his neck or whatever. And they're not, like, 100% like uniform. Like, I can't think of nobody famous to compare it to. But, yeah. To me, that's the main difference. And he got a belly now. He got a belly and he has hair. Those are the only differences now. He looks the exact same. So, people say they tell him that he looks 20-something, late 20s, early 30s. And he does. He looks good for his age. He's knocking on 50's door. So, he over here talking about, yeah, you know, he actually has some stuff going on right now where he's trying to lose weight. Well, he said he has lost weight. He said he was a few pounds over 300. And now he's down to like 275, and his goal is to get down to like 220 or 210 or something like that. And all of, you know, whatever. And I was like, okay. He kept on telling me that he was going to start like rolling up on folks once he gets down to his goal weight. And he's basically going to be cocky. I said, oh, not you finna be cocky. Not you finna sit up here and act like you guys give to women. He went off. He was like, I sure am. I was like, no. Like, he had me hollering. You would just have to see his reaction. Like, even though I ain't here for him like that, I like the fact that he picks up what I'm putting down. When I'm expressing certain things to him or we're in the middle of a conversation, he usually catch on to what I'm saying, and he's able to hop right in and, you know, match the energy that I'm giving. That's what I like. So that was funny. So we had that little conversation, and that was the end of them conversations for today. So anyway, the other dude did really well, considering that was his first real day. But yeah, like I said, old boy, he ain't making the cut. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm really glad that I waited until today. Until today, it's gonna be between today and Thursday afternoon that I'm gonna upload the video where I'm explaining to y'all and talking to y'all basically about where I went this weekend. And I'm saying that because the person who asked me out it's just a lot. I'm just like, sir. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all about it when I do the video. But yeah, it's a mess. It is a mess. But anyway, I had a good day. Despite all of the foolishness that was going on with old boy. Oh, something else that happened randomly. Let me tell you, like I think I've told y'all before, but it just keeps happening. So many random people will be walking by when I'm talking to people who I actually am cool with, that I'll be in the middle of talking. Like yesterday, I was talking to somebody that was in the staffing office. Because y'all know I had an easy cake day doing nothing yesterday pretty much. I mean, I did do stuff. I just like to say doing nothing. So I was going on my break and I was trying to figure out, did they want me to go home or what they wanted me to do? Because I was done doing what I really was supposed to only be there to do today. Well, that day. And so we were in the middle of talking. We had already gotten past that part. So we talked about some other stuff. And so she was like, well, I thought that I wanted to live like further up north, but the south is for me because I went and visited. I think she said she went to New York and other places where people act like this, and she was not here for it, and people were just too personal in her personal space and all of that. Meaning, they were like, "Oh, you need to buy this," like being really super overly aggressive, and it's like, all right, now. Rolling up doing the most. Or she'll speak and they wouldn't speak back. I'm like, oh, that's common. Like now that's something I never understood. They really will look at you sideways like, how dare you speak to me? Now what I had to tell her, this is what made the person turn around and eventually say something yesterday. So I was in the middle of talking to her and that conversation was happening, and so I was like, oh, well, that part is actually something that happens in Atlanta. I said, have you ever been to Atlanta before? The Water Boys. I am so glad that the last time that I really was in Atlanta like that, not just passing through, that I was like nowhere near where these Water Boys be at, because I would have stomped somebody out. I need to get a permit to carry, because somebody getting shot, like, they is aggressive ain't even a word. Whatever is a couple of notches above aggressive is what they are, and don't nobody have time. Like, they really will get up there and get on top of your vehicle. Like, who are you? Who are you? I don't care how small you are. Don't you get on top of my vehicle. Don't be touching my windows. If I'm not letting my window down and giving you any money for the overpriced less than $1 amount of bottle of water that you trying to sell to me, then get on. I don't understand. And I feel like the police have not done anything as far as saying, oh, you don't have a permit to sell this. And if they do, I don't care. You need to find another way. Go get you a stand and do it that way. Don't be sitting up here trying to force somebody into doing. And my thing is this, I shouldn't be fearful. I should not be fearful that you are going to hurt me if I don't oblige. Every time I see somebody post a video of them, I swear, I be like, ooh, I'm so glad. I think the Lord knew. I think the Lord knew that me and my ex did not need to be together, because he has been determined to move to Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm like, for where? For where? I hate driving through there. I hate. It's to the point where my body knows I'm about to head into the terrible traffic that happens somehow, magically, 24 hours a day. Why is it busy 24 hours a day? Why? Why is this? I don't understand. And I have been blessed that 99% of the time that whenever I've had to drive through there wasn't construction work going on where I would come to a standstill. If it was happening, it was happening on the other side that ain't had nothing to do with me. I can count on one hand how many times I've had to sit in traffic because 85 was having some kind of a construction situation going on. And they still having construction on 75, 85, all of that crap. And I'm like, y'all doing the least. I ain't got time for it. Anyway, y'all, I done bored y'all enough. I had to try to figure out how I'm going to do this video, because there's so much stuff to cut. Like, it was a lot that happened. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I want y'all to understand and be able to feel me through the screen for y'all to understand the degree of how happy I was that day. I had so much fun. I hadn't been out in so long, and I hadn't done that in forever. Anyway, I'll see y'all later on. Have a good day. Bye.